I didn't even label this as a conversation, but that's what this is. Conversation about, well, I guess, I don't know. Where's my phone? Obviously my phone's there, but there's one in my pocket as well. Wait, what day is today? Woo! Okay. Almost forgot an appointment. But that is mañana. How do I want to start this? I don't want to be... I'm sick of being a Debbie Downer, but I think the point of conversations is like sort of an outlet of frustration and being somewhat straightforward and real and literal with you guys, because I don't think there's enough of that, and I need to stop being afraid of what others may think or may get out of clip that I've seen going around of some friends discussing a individual online who was black. It's circulated and it's not good. Doesn't look good. And I think in so many respects illustrates everything that I've sort of griped with and you know, been outspoken about over the past couple of months. Things that I'm just like worried about with the space in general, right? Like as commentators grow, as people become more successful, you have to push lines, right? You need to keep people engaged and keep people wanting to come back for more and more and more. And hey, man, things get out of hand. Like without being like, without it seeming like I'm just apologizing for these guys, because I do like them, you know. I know about half of those guys and have been in conversations with them, and I think their intentions are good, but the issue is when you like cross the line with things and, you know, and then essentially double down on it. And, you know, again, like I want this community to be taken seriously, because there's a lot of smart people commenting on things and bringing up points that are valid and make sense. But you're never going to grab people, new people especially, when you throw around like legitimate racial slurs. Like, and again, I know this starts with like, hey, I have a friend, we always joke around, he lets me say a word or a phrase and it's fine because I'm not offended by it. Like, that's essentially where all this comes from. And like, you don't have to bullshit me. I know that's exactly where it comes from. You know, like I have friends who are black who are like, I don't give a shit if you say that word. I don't care if you make this joke because it's true. Like, stereotypes are true for a reason. So I get it. Like that's where this spawns out of. I don't think it's like legitimate racial hate for somebody, but it's more of a like poking fun at someone culturally because it's different, and again, it gets a laugh. But you know, when you don't like, but people online, they don't care about that. They don't care about that added context. But it's still, again, you're pushing a line that goes too far, because like the whole time we've been better than the other side, right? We've tried to characterize ourselves and paint ourselves in a way that's more rational than the people that we're fighting against. Well, this isn't that, you know? And like, you know, there's, what's up, Sci-Fi? I'm talking about that clip that's been going around that from people in the sort of fellowship adjacent tribes that have, you know, they've been caught with their pants down a little bit, Yeah, yeah, the clip of Hypnotic. Well, I don't know if I mean, it was his show, but it wasn't, I don't think it was him that said it. It was, you know, again, it was his crew sort of being a bit crazy. I just, like, I just think this is where commentary goes to die, right? Like, you are going. This is like seppuku. It's self-immolation, making yourself a martyr. In the name of, I don't even know what. And again, like, and this is what separates, I think. Again, I'm not a big creator. I consider myself I understand the lines. There's places I'm not willing to go in the name of content creation, and this is one of them. But I think it's pertinent. I think it's smart to discuss what is wrong with it. Do I hate Hypnotic? Do I hate his crew for what they said? No. I am upset that they did that. I'm upset that they think it's funny and they think it's right. I think what you saw, if I'm going to play devil's advocate, I think what you saw were friends that were talking, that are used to making racial jokes because they are a diverse group, or like, they have friends who are black and they made these jokes before, and they thought that they could get away with it there. I disagree with that. Doesn't mean that I want everyone to go to subscribe to them right now. I want people to think. We need to talk in private? Sure. People need to think before they get into these discussions. Because, yeah, hit me up in DMs, Mephisto. Happy to talk with you. Because here's my take on everything. If you want to pull people to your side in a culture war, right, you got to understand and play the middle ground in a way that, oh yeah, well, hit me up there and then we'll talk in like Discord or whatever. That's totally fine. Because I should have some free time later today. Sorry, train of thought derailed a little bit. If you're going to sway people to your side, if you're going to be a real influence in cultural things and talking about what makes entertainment good or bad or whatever, you need to take a more grounded stance. People, like, I understand that. I mean, it's no secret that people enjoy radical opinions. I'm not dumb enough to think that that's not true. But I think in the long run, if you're playing the long game, if you're understanding how the marathon works and not just the sprint, people will grow tired of being hammered in the head all the time with negativity, right? It's almost like being in an insane asylum, and eventually, like the more pills you force down someone's throat, like, if that's all the treatment you're giving them, then it's not going to work. There's multiple things that need to happen, right? There's what we call concurrent care in everything. There's medication that needs to be involved. A lot of times there's physical activity that needs to be involved. Same thing with commentary. And commentary, as I see it now, like as YouTube goes, has been this one size fits all. I'm a surgeon, but my preferred tool is a hammer, right? Like, sure, there's some problems you can fix with a hammer, but not, there's very few people in this space who are capable of using that hammer as a precision tool. And even then, that tool is going to eventually slip and cause more damage than it's meant to. And like I've been asked, like, well, how do we forgive these people? How do we look at these people and like call them friends? How do we do, or like, should we let them in? Should we continue to be involved with them? And like, sometimes action is inaction. Just sort of distancing yourself from people because it's just what you think is the right thing to do. Like, you might not want to be mixed up in someone else's drama at the moment. Again, I don't hate people. I don't hate these people for the comments they made. I'm just, it comes down to the same old, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Right? Like, these people are my brothers in a lot of ways, and we've broke bread and we've talked about things at length. I just think things are getting out of hand. What's up? Means of Destruction. Good to see you. I think things are starting to get out of hand, and I hope, and if this is a warning, it's a warning, but I hope people heed the warning and reel it in a little bit and just be a little bit more introspective. Like, and I tweeted the other day, and it directly relates to this whole situation. There's a not so fine line between shaming and tarring and feathering people, your opposition, however you want to call it. And a lot of people are going to learn the difference of that. And it's not a threat. It's a reality that, I hear all the time, like, oh, these people, they deserve to be shamed. And like, I understand the need for shaming, but what these people are often talking about is a tar and feathering. It's a legitimate, like, changing of who someone is in the eyes of someone else. You can shame someone and like, oh, what you did was stupid, you deserve your pants pulled down in front of the class. End of story. These people want to, like, physically alter, like, what these people look like, scar them for life, cover you in hot tar, blow feathers all over you, and again, make people look ridiculous. It's not the winning formula. And what I mean by, like, you're gonna learn the hard way is that eventually the tables are going to be turned. The tables are going to be turned. And you don't want that. I don't want that for anyone. I want people to be able to take a rational approach to this stuff. It's fucking entertainment, people. It's TV shows, it's movies, it's video games. What the fuck? What the fuck? Calm down. And here's the thing. I saw this thing the other day. That being a good parent is difficult. And that shit hit hard. And if you're a parent, you understand exactly what we're talking about. It is extremely difficult to be a good parent. Kids are all over the place. Now more than ever, it's easy for kids to get away from you, and it's easy for them to hide what they're doing, or for them to see a bunch of things, because we now have these magical devices. Make no mistake, it's fucking magic. The fact that you can carry a television everywhere you go is literal magic, and your kids have access to it. They have access to so many things. But guess what? It is, at the end of the day, it's a movie. You need to, there's so much more involved in parenting than what your kids watch. Now, do I want my kids watching pornography? No. And anything explicit like that, I will have a handle on pretty quick. And if I've done my job properly, my children will know that stuff like that is inappropriate because I've already talked about it in some other facet. Hey, it's not appropriate for kids to watch this sort of thing. Hey, it's not appropriate for you to whatever, X, Y, and Z with another person. So when they see those things, they go, oh, what? No. It is a parent's job to be involved with their children to the point that they understand right and wrong, good and bad situations. That doesn't absolve these companies of the shit they put out. It doesn't absolve schools for putting like smut in schools that kids might see. You know, like there are legitimate things worth fighting for, but when you start like really getting into the like, we look at what some of these commentators are starting to say and what they're becoming, I'm genuinely worried, and that's why most often I'm just staying in my lane. I have a serious undertaking for a show that is going to be discussing entertainment, TV, movies, and video games that I enjoy. And the ones I don't enjoy, we are going to focus on the more positive aspects of it. Because there's a good conversation to be had about bad entertainment. But the harder conversation to have is picking out the things that are good in bad entertainment. And that is something that's worth talking about. But more so, just good pieces of entertainment. I'm already been talking with a couple other friends of reviving a show I used to do, likely under another name, because I want to talk about good entertainment. Pull your audience. If you're a content creator who covers entertainment in a largely negative way, ask your audience. Ask your audience. I don't care what the algorithm tells you about your fucking statistics on your videos. Ask your audience if they want to hear something positive about the entertainment industry. I would guarantee you a high percentage of them, or a decent percentage of them, are very interested in what good is happening in Hollywood or the good movies that are coming out. When I went to see Joker 2, I saw at least 4 trailers that like had my jaw on the floor. Now I know that that's the point of trailers, is to have you interested, but they were like, I'm like, holy shit, 2025 is looking pretty damn good as far as movies go. Now, of course, that could change. That could totally change. But like, where are the endless fucking videos on Nosferatu coming out? Like, commentary will be dead if people don't like change. I understand there's certain content creators who are like news outlets and they cover this stuff, but I mean, doesn't it make people fucking miserable? Or is it just me? Is it just just me that feels fatigued every time something bad happens? Yeah, the funny thing is about Joker 2 is that I'm still like, I did that show with Metal Commander and Mark the Cyborg and Short Fat Otaku, and like we had a good discussion surrounding it. But like, I'm not convinced that I was right about that movie. Does that make sense? Like, I think that there's something greater. I'm inclined to believe that Joker 2 was a middle finger to Hollywood. The more I look at it, the more I think of it, I'm like, oh man, like maybe he's a genius. Like maybe there's a possibility that what I just witnessed was a much better movie than anticipated. This guy went fucking Kojima levels, like nuclear, on Hollywood, and that's fucking awesome. So maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it wasn't just something that I need to bitch about because, oh, Todd Phillips is woke too. Like, the guy made a living making the raunchiest fucking comedies we know. Some of the best movies that we know. And now all of a sudden, in his his latest movie, he's like, oh, my feelings? I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not convinced. What's up, Extra Zero? I see you, man. I saw you in chat. Sorry, I couldn't read your... Right, and I think it's very likely that happened. And if it is true, fucking brilliant, man. Brilliant. And I'm almost inclined to leave it at that, because like I feel better about the movie that way. Also, and I could even see when I was talking with Moxie Dame last night, like I was even bringing up like, oh, what about like there's moments in the Rings of Power where there's like good cinematography, and I could almost feel like the rage coming through the chat. A couple people like even I think said something like kind of snarky, and I just wanted to be it just goes to show like many people are incapable of truly thinking for themselves, and if they just heard something that resonated with them, they'll just repeat it. It's easier than thinking about it. It's hard to steal, man, things that you despise. What's up, Mike? Yeah, Mike. No, I totally get you, and my thing. Sorry, I got a fucking booger that's just chilling right on the edge of the rim there. No, and like this is where I don't. It's why I'm almost purposely vague, and I'm not calling necessarily anyone out specifically, because I see it everywhere, and it's not just in like maybe our circle of commentary. I want people to use their heads. I want people to take things in a more positive direction. Not even positive, but a more balanced approach. And Mike, and here's the thing I'll say. You said positivity doesn't sell as much, which sucks, because it will be nice to celebrate good stuff. Here's the thing. And here's where I'll like sort of disagree with you. The algorithm works for us, right? The algorithm, it works in tandem with us. It doesn't just push negative content. It pushes negative content because we tell it to. I think part of switching that is in some respects pushing out more of that balanced content in order for it to recognize people's desire to see it. And I think, and maybe that won't happen. Maybe that's a big ask, right? But that's why I talk about this, is like it is incumbent upon the creator to take that other step. We need to take the step of that more balanced approach. If you're going to disparage something, also give us the positive on it, because like, or the solution to that. And as people absorb that content, it will be pushed out. I understand, and I've seen people say like, oh, look at my positive videos, they don't do nearly as well as my negative ones. And I get it, but that's okay. That's 5 videos you just did that are positive. The algorithm doesn't have time to catch it. You need to continue to do that. You need to make that your new norm. You need to make that your habit, is that this is where the balanced approach of good and bad and solutions is now what we're doing, not just slam, like fucking like taking it by the back of the head and like fucking, that Rings of Power is just this like, it's just a toothless fucking meme of like getting their head bashed into the dashboard, you know, like that's what I'm saying. And again, people can make content about what they want. I'm not calling out anyone specific. I mean, the only thing specific I really focused on today was the stuff that, you know, surrounding, you know, Hypnotic Stream. I thought it was just out of line, out of character. I would love to see we'd have a media and entertainment that unites left and right. Yeah, and well, just like you could even leave left and right out of it. We need escapism that knows how to tell stories that people can relate to. It's not even necessary. I mean, it's not even a left and right issue, right? Like, people know great stories when they see it. Like, you know, even like the really good example is like Helldivers. Helldivers is created by a woke team, but like, you know, you have everyone that enjoyed that game, all walks of life enjoyed it because they understood what was happening with it. But it's the hard part is the initial hump, getting over the fact that your algorithm is working against you to start. It's human nature to pay attention to the negative. Not much can be done there. Yes, yeah, but yeah, and I don't necessarily disagree with that sentiment. I spent my life in the service industry. I spent my life in the service industry for the most part, and you know, the big thing is, like, people will always talk about their negative experiences before their positive experiences. But I only believe that that's half true. People will broadcast and write their negative experiences, but like, how often do you gush to your friends about how great that fucking burger place is? Or, oh hey man, like, you know, I found this secret fucking coffee shop downtown, so good, like, go there and order this, like, some of the best coffee nobody knows about. It's a little kiosk in the alleyway, fucking boom. I was like, it's the best coffee and it's $2 a cup. Yeah, it is normalized telling the world your political, religious beliefs and all that. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong there. I want to, you know, going back to like kind of answering Mike. I love Mike. Mike is one of my favorite people, and I've met Mike, I think, twice now. And if I could choose anyone to probably be friends with forever, it would be Mike, because he seems to be the most normal. It's the growing pains of positive, balanced content. Like, I want to see someone really try. I really do. I want to see someone really try. And maybe that's, I mean, maybe that's just me. You know, like, I'm going to try my own version of it, but I would love to see some of these guys who I've grown to respect over the years, and, you know, like, and have met, and they work hard, and they, you know, run incredible teams, like I would love to see them try the very same thing. Like it's hard, man. Like I don't want to see these channels of hardworking people go the way of the dodo because they just can't they can't control their mouth, you know. And I'm not one of these fucking wokesters like that's like don't be racist, you know. Like in the case of what I was talking about, in the case of like Hypnotic Stream, I'm not like I know exactly how that happened. I think everyone here who like supports them knows exactly how that happened. Those guys say those jokes in Discord. Their friends are all okay with them saying shit like that, and then they got on a public stage and they said it. It's the same shit that like. You guys ever seen Black Sheep? In Black Sheep, Chris Farley's character is like trying to help his brother get elected, and he's like at this rally and he's sitting around smoking with a bunch of like Jamaican dudes like backstage, and then they mistake Chris Farley for his brother, and so now Chris Farley is fucking high as shit out on stage, and like he says he just in the moment of getting all excited and getting everyone, you know, razzed up or whatever for his brother, he said like he just screams "Kill Whitey" out on the stage, and like all the guys in the back are like, "No, don't say that," because you know it's just like a joke they had behind the scenes. It's exactly what happened with them. You know, like, and I know people might be like, "Oh, it's fucking bullshit. They're just racist." I don't think they're racist. I think that every single one of those guys is totally fine with people of color. Even Ryan, who said that, like, who really said that shit, but it, you know, it just got out of hand. They forgot the camera was rolling, and they were. And you know, I think mixed with, you know, you got to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing the envelope with TV series. Like TV series often experience like narrative burnout because they keep one-upping the stakes to a point where you're just like, okay, like John Wick is one of those series where like it starts off grounded, and as it progresses, it gets more and more crazy. Krabby Patty says, "The locker room talk, all you guys say the most insane shit for comedy." Yeah, I think it's exactly what those guys experienced, and it's really unfortunate that actor caught wind of it and you know, blasted them. But you know, in some respects, it's deserved, man. You can say those words and jokes behind closed doors, but you know, in public, you don't say that, right? Like, I'm not going to go drop the N-bomb, you know, in public, even if my friend is around. But you know, if my black friend who gives me the pass says, you know, you can say it in front of me, you know, if we're in a private conversation in Discord, I might let it slip. Like, you can't do it. Hypno is cool with his audience talking violence against Nick Calandra over the Grumps doxing. I heavily dislike Nick, but they were very out of line. No, that's what I mean, and that's really what I'm speaking out against today. Is like we need to really, in some regards, understand where the line is, right? I know people make their money by being very what's the word? Mercurial, by being very inflammatory is probably the better word there. But that's not, in the long run, that's not how we are going to get, that's not how we're going to win the culture war. If that's the ultimate goal, to win back good storytelling, to get the wokeness out of stuff, you're not going to do it that way. you're only going to reinforce, again, like I was saying with Melanie, like I thought Melanie was way out of line with her comments, and I think embracing the bigot mentality is antithetical to what she is trying to do, but also what this movement is trying to do, what we've tried to do time and time again, is to fight against like these people who are being legitimate bigots. Like there's a point where you have to stop leaning into the meme because no one's going to take you seriously anymore. Yeah, man, it sucks because there's legitimate news to be talked about. There's legitimate movies and criticisms to be made. But if you're just doing it for dollars, then you're no better than like the multi-mega corporations that are, you know, that are, I don't know, man. Like, it just sucks. But I see so many people succumbing to it, like so many like really good, solid people. And this isn't like, I want people to really understand. Just like when I was critical of Melanie, I'm not saying people need, like, I want people to go unsub to them. I want people to like do anything. I just want people to look at what I'm saying and understand, like, I can respect these people and they can still be my friends, but I can still be critical of them. And I hope they understand, like, this is how I'm sort of approaching it. Like, the people I care about most, I'll often be critical of because I want to see them change for the better. Now, if these people don't want me around anymore, if they don't want me on their shows anymore, that's fine. That's their prerogative, man. Hey, Nadia. But they're, you know, I just want the best for people. I want real change because there's so many good things out there that we're missing, that people are missing, because we need another video about the Rings of Power. We need another video about the Acolyte. We need whatever it is. We need another Disney earnings quarter fucking video. And this is just me I'm just being straight up, and if it's coming off as being a whiny bitch, I apologize. But, you know, we're missing the mark. And especially because you get like a lot, like we had like some you have to chase the algorithm. Yeah, Mike, you probably missed when I said it. I believe that's only half true. The algorithm is what you make it. The algorithm is what you make it. The algorithm is pushing out what people are watching, but if all people are making is negative videos, then yeah, like that's what people are going to tend to consume. My point is my wish is that we could start seeing videos that are a little bit more balanced when it comes to what people are, you know, discussing, especially in the way of entertainment. You know, like, why can't I have 5 videos about the upcoming Nosferatu movie? You know, why can't I have you know, or like, again, I would take criticism about a Marvel project that also discussed what worked. Yeah, I agree with you, Extra Zero. I agree with you. Yeah, no, like, Mila, you're not wrong. The secret is you have to realize, like, the dogpiling that you get isn't real. It's manufactured. It's a manufactured dogpile, right? Those people wouldn't do the same thing if it were in real life. It's manufactured outrage. Really, no matter like how you. Oh fuck! This is some traffic, huh? And that's. But people are afraid, you know. But that's the thing, is that people take Twitter as if it were real life, and then they don't speak up about things that they're passionate about. Most of the videos that are negative, at least for the channels that are successful, they do go deeper into what they did and didn't like. Maybe. Maybe I have to go back and watch more videos of people complaining about stuff. I usually see a one-sided argument on things. It's usually just screaming about one thing or another. You know, again, reading articles they didn't write. It's just hard, man. Again, I'm not even jealous of what people are doing at this point. You know, I think at one point I was jealous of the success of others, but now it just seems too tiring. Like I can't do it. I can't keep up with all the stuff that I'm supposed to talk about, right? Oh, if you want to be successful, you need to talk about this show at this time, and be negative about it. Like, nah, I'm good. I'd rather be poor and happy than like successful and miserable. Like, I'd rather have a floundering YouTube channel that talks about things that I like legitimately enjoy than to like just continually badmouth everything just because it's like it's good for the algorithm. And hey man, the truth is like when I take the time to fully work out something in my head and like put something out or do a live stream that's not just like right away, oh, something came out, fucking hammer that shit home. You know, nobody wants to necessarily wait the time to hear out the opinion. But it's twofold, right? It's sort of a nuanced thing. One is that I haven't shown people that that's what I'm doing. I sort of just like kind of stopped. So that part's on me. The other part is people just want now. Having guest produced for a big show, it's also sad to see some hosts don't even know what they're talking about until 10 minutes before the show, just reading articles in real time. Yeah, like that can work. It like the legitimate surprise of reading an article. But if you're going to be informative on something, like that can't be how you run your show. You need to go into it knowing what you're talking about, so you have your points like up. Yeah. No, totally. Again, if you're going for the legitimate news, like the legitimate news source of your show, if that's what you're doing, is like, hey, I'm reporting on entertainment video game news. Well, you need to have an idea of what's actually happening. It does give it a chance for genuine reaction. But like, again, it just depends on what you're doing. If you're going to be like to be a news source for things, then you need to read ahead of time. Right. And this is one of the criticisms I had of people who are like holding up Asmongold as like some geopolitical expert, and like being all surprised that he slipped up when he said something that was like off color about Israel and Palestine. Like, the guy sits in his like filthy ass house and reacts to TikTok videos all day. Like, what did you expect? He's played WoW. He talked about his bouts with like suicide. The guy is like anything but a political commentator, and yet everyone's holding him to this standard as if he was like a CNN source or a Fox News source. Like, get real, guys. Like, he's none of that. He's none of that. But yet someone like Hassan can sit on Twitter all day long or on Twitch all day long and have like real, like, thought out, flushed out opinions that are borderline anti-Semitic or anti-Semitic, and like still have a platform and be like promoted by them. Not to mention that chick that said all US, she wishes PTSD on all US soldiers. Like, the fuck? Yeah, if you're going to be a subject matter expert on something, you need to read stuff ahead of time so you know like what people are talking about. Because I'll tell you, reporting on articles and shit like that, never understood the appeal of Asmongold. It's milquetoast, man. This is normie. It's okay. His punishment is to clean his room. Yeah, right. I hope that picture of his sink was a joke, because that, like, I would never post that shit online. But hey, I mean, if he's trying to legitimately show that he's trying to change, that's great. You know what the problem with cleaning dishes and cleaning your house is that it's a never-ending problem, right? So what is he going to do? Post a screenshot every day of everything that he's cleaned from now until the end of time? What if he has kids? Hey, guys, I changed my kid's diaper for the 4th time today. Like, cool. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I guess my point is that they'll never ban Hassan, even though he's a news outlet that needs to report properly on things. Yeah, well, my wife and I, we have someone just come and basically mop the floors like twice or once a month, and it's like $50. Like, she tidies up stuff and sprays down the counters and mops the floors. Like, we tidy everything up, like get all the shit off the floor, like the toys and everything. But then they come in and clean, like deep clean the floors and the countertops and stuff. $50 for once a month. It's a steal. It's a steal. And they're done in like 2 hours. Or maybe it's $100. I don't remember. My wife does the finances. We in traffic, fam. But yeah, like I don't know. Really, the answer is like, if you want the, be the change you wish to see in the world, like that's the answer. Like, and it's coming. Like, I have a legitimate plan. Well, I'm working through a legitimate plan and reviving something I used to do, because, like, I'll just tell you, I've been watching Prison Break over again. I'm halfway through season 3. Like, all I want to do is talk about it. All I want to do is talk about Prison Break. On positive news, Trump worked at McDonald's for 15 minutes. Yeah, good for him. Today, the world learned yet again that all political activities are staged and not real. Yay. It still blows my mind that in 2024 people need to like be told that they stage these political events. The only thing that's different is that, I mean, it's like a full-blown production versus like the full-blown production can now be seen online in clips before it actually airs as a commercial. That's the difference. Whereas like 20 years ago, they would have filmed him working there and just aired it as a commercial of like, hey, Trump likes working for the common man. He's there for you. And look at, he worked at McDonald's for 2 hours today. Like, yeah, everyone would have known that was totally staged. I don't miss Utah traffic whatsoever. No, it sucks. When he did it on Kamala's birthday, bro stole the show on her birthday. Yeah. And then he wished her happy birthday. You know what's funny too is that he like the him wishing her a happy birthday was probably the most sincere part of everything I heard from him. Because he was even like, happy birthday, Kamala. He's like, happy birthday. Like it sounded like genuine. Yeah, Trump has never been like in through a lot of his campaigns, and even like, I mean, there was even like secret footage of him like on the golf course, like someone was secretly filming him, like giving like the service worker that brings like drinks or whatever, like tipping them like huge. Like he's always seemed to be a pretty giving guy. Like there's even those clips of him giving that woman a job. Like the woman was there like just viewing the event, and he was like, I remember exactly what the context was, but he pulled her up on stage and he goes, here, go talk to him. He'll find a job for you. Let's just negotiate on salary. And it's like, dude, what? Like, PR or not, like people who are not like good and giving don't do shit like that. They do it behind closed doors. They're pieces of shit in the open. They're pieces of shit behind closed doors. Like, and if people are like mad at Trump because like he's a poor businessman, like let me tell you, there's a lot of shitty business people out there. Like it doesn't excuse the behavior, but like running a business, like you need to be cutthroat in a lot of respects. Like people who aren't like aware of their financials and how deals affect them, or understanding that a deal will severely impact your business one way or another. Like if you don't understand that stuff, like it can tank you quick. And Trump is no stranger to bad deals and bankruptcy. Like he knows, obviously. That dude was getting far in his nose. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's one of his faults, right? One of his faults is that he is probably the most genuine person we've seen. Authentic person. Well, it's twofold. He gets good word of mouth. He helps folks out. It's a literal win-win scenario, yeah. People get in their cars and forget they have windows. You know what's wild? There's a sensor in this car that'll tell me when someone's in the back seat. Like, how is it that we've gotten to the point in society where we need to be reminded that there's a child in the back seat? Like, just think about how far you have to fall to remind the driver there's an infant child occupying the rear space in your car. Like, it's not even a divided like area. It is within the same cabin. It's within the same cabin, not 2 feet behind you, and people need to be reminded of it. That should tell you everything. People get into routines. That's not an excuse. Not an excuse at all. You shouldn't be in so much of a routine that you forget a child. Sorry. Oh, I can only imagine. I mean, I've seen videos on TikTok, police officers smashing the car windows, like kids just screaming, crying. Like, let me tell you, I get choked up and I get upset when my child wakes up in the middle of the night from a nightmare. No, I know it's a reality. I know people get into a routine, but like these are the people who shouldn't have children, because their routine should be, I'm driving to work. I got a child in the back seat. I just pulled into work. Wait, I didn't take my child out. Time to go drop my child off. Like, hello? Absolute absolute insanity. Routines, yeah. So yummy. Is there anything better than coffee, like first thing in the morning? Very first thing. Never forgot my child in the back seat, but I have walked away from my car with the door still wide open multiple times. You know what my worst habit is? Like, I've never done any of that. My worst habit is leaving the water on when I'm like doing dishes. Like I'll leave it on, do my stuff, and then I'll like walk away and the water's still running. My wife's like, "Why is the water on?" I'm like, "Oh, I was doing dishes and I forgot to turn it off," you know. But that's different. Totally different from walking away and leaving your fucking car with your child in it. Like, holy hell. Holy hell. But that's the thing, is like, I guess my criticism of it is like, rather than, like, the solution isn't remember your fucking child, it's let me put an alarm in your car so you don't forget your child. Great. Now you're just absolving the human of responsibility because they're incapable of doing it. Like, Jesus. This is where we are. This is where we are in society. Like, as machines make our lives easier, humans in turn become a bit more stupid because they're removing a layer of responsibility from the actual person. They're removing some agency from the person. So we're like, simultaneously you're increasing and decreasing your survival of the fittest like instinct. Like, we can't, like, the more people become dependent on machines, the less that they will actually be able to survive in the world, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's absolving humans of responsibility, absolutely. I mean, it can make you more successful quicker in the modern sense that we know it, right? Like, I can obtain money, support my family, keep them warm and all that stuff quicker, but like, if anything really happened, right? If doomsday happens and we're all like legitimately left in the cold, most people are just done for because their automation, their crutches have just been kicked out from under them. We're essentially digital, like, not digital amputees. I would say, yeah, digital amputees. Like, in some ways, we're just like, we're cutting off our legs. We're cutting off our legs in a figurative way, I guess, if that makes sense. I'm still kind of working through that, but that's I'm sticking to that. You know what I mean? Like, so we have legs, obviously, but like, it's almost like we're replacing them with this sort of like digital version of legs, and that if they ever went down, like, say, like EMP type shit, like, those legs would just be rendered useless, and we wouldn't really remember how to use our normal legs because we've been so dependent on our digital legs for so long. And that shit's wild to think about. Like, it's wild to think that we're in a place where if we truly needed to survive among the animal kingdom, we are fucked. And it's truly remarkable that we've been able to put ourselves like outside of that, right? Humans have like uprooted themselves in the animal kingdom to live like outside of the animal kingdom in like its own like concentric circle. It's so crazy to think about. We are not like we are less bound by those natural laws than other mammals and members of the animal kingdom, and that just blows my mind. We have learned to adapt our environment to us rather than adapt to our environment, which every other animal does. Holy shit, it's cold. What am I doing? I'm like sitting here like, why are my feet cold? Because I have fucking cold air blowing on them with AC. I do. Oh, y'all, guess what? So, if you guys aren't in my Discord, join my Discord. The link is in the description below. If there's any writers here, next month is National Novel Writing Month, NaNoWriMo. I would like to start like a group within Discord that posts their progress in writing each day. So if you're a writer, if you're writing something right now, consider joining it. Or if you're someone who wants to like start writing, consider joining the Discord to be a part of that, because I would love to see if we can motivate each other to like check in every day, post your progress, and, you know, like I said, get good stories written. You know, you don't even have to write anything. It just be like a daily journal if you want to be a part of that. But I think the exercise of writing daily will be something that can be helpful to a lot of people. So please consider joining the Discord to be a part of that. What is happening here? Weird. Sorry, mate. Oh, I'm going right back there. Don't worry about me, cuz. I'm supposed to be writing a novel, but I've been on a 6-month break because of writer's block and laziness. Well, here's the thing, Mike. So this is the best part. You use this month to get in the groove. Just set a modest goal, 300 words a day. And if you can write more, you write more. But I think it's a great, and especially when you're a part of a group, I think it's a good way to keep motivated with each other. Post how much you wrote that day, even if it didn't necessarily tie to your story, but was just something to get ideas out and continue flowing. So, but hey, I hope you join us. If not, I understand. That's going to do it for my rant, for my conversation regarding some of the comments made by some friends. I don't want you guys to think that I'm all doom and gloom with this stuff. I have a lot of stuff that I'm making changes in my own content that even if it is somewhat negative, I want it to be something productive and something that helps people think and understand my position rather than just be angry. And again, I hope people understand that. I see a lot of continued support and people understanding where I'm coming from, and it's really great to see and feel. So again, I appreciate it. What else is happening? Next Monday is going to be a members panel. So all members, if you're a Twitch sub or if you're a member here on YouTube, you guys will be able to join the panel and hang out and talk with me for the evening. I believe that's the 28th of October. So last Monday of every month we do that, where you guys can be a part of the conversation. Talk about some cool stuff. But yeah, some good news coming in the weeks ahead. As well as NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. If you want to be a part of that, join the Discord. I will have more information coming up soon, because I want to write good stories and I want you guys to be a part of it. So thank you guys so much. That's it for me today. I lost my voice talking on the way down here, but love y'all. Be good.